Well, howdy ho. That's right, I'm back in LA and I'm married, baby. I just realized that I have been married for a month. Today, it is the 23rd as I'm recording this. Happy month anniversary to me and Will, I guess. Now let's relive the whole thing while I recreate the wedding makeup that I did. So I did discuss this a little bit on YouTube before the wedding, but I was considering doing my own hair and makeup, and that is exactly what happened. I was looking at makeup and I was like, I just don't necessarily trust someone else to do exactly what I want on my face. Like, I feel like I just know my face better than anyone else. Maybe my mom or Will might know my face better, but in general, I think I can do my makeup better than her or Will can. So I decided to do it myself, and I was so happy I did. Also, my makeup lasted all day. I didn't do a single touch-up. Maybe it's my skin type. Maybe it was the weather. Maybe it's because I powdered my face into oblivion. It stayed the whole day and looked good the whole day into the night until like 2 in the morning. So if you can take one thing from this, powder your under eyes. Obviously, I did a few makeup tests on here, which was very helpful to kind of decide what I liked, what I didn't like. And so I did end up using a lot of the products that I had already talked about in the little trial that I did on YouTube. I can't remember if I talked about this product. The Say Glowy Super Gel, this stuff, oh my God, it was my holy grail on the day. It's such a good primer for your face because it's not super moisturizing. It's more like a gel moisturizer. So you don't end up having a whole lot of layers under your makeup before you start applying your foundation steps. And I loved that. I also ended up putting this all over my arms, all over my chest, all over like my shoulders, anywhere that I could reach, I put this on. And y'all, it lasted until 3 days after the wedding. And I showered. Don't you worry, I showered. I was really worried about creasing my bangs on the day because once my bangs crease, like they never recover. I think I did my patented trick of instead of separating them down the middle, I push all of them to the side like this, kind of like a, oh my God. Dear Lord. I create like a little early 2000s bang. Like this is how I used to do my hair when I would go to high school. Oh God. It was kind of like a comb over situation. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is what I did so that I could like be full egg. Let's start with like very, very early details. Like Will got my engagement ring at this really, really cool place called EC1 in London. And the cool thing about it is that they used only recycled materials for all of their engagement rings. They're one of ones, even though this is like an incredibly classic ring that I've seen very similar ones. No one has this exact ring, which is kind of cool. And they're all made by women, by hand, in the shop. You can watch them doing it. It's really fucking cool. And I really appreciated that he found such a niche, interesting place to get my engagement ring from. So yeah, if you're looking around, they also have really pretty semi-precious jewelry. Like it's not all engagement rings. So if you're looking for just like a sweet treat for, you know, an anniversary or a birthday or something like that. So lovely, and did such a good job with the ring. And like when we came back in to resize it and everything, they were super helpful. I really, really liked them. So yeah. Also that area of London is really fun. Like if you want to just go look at some jewelry, it's almost like the jewelry district of London. And I thought that was so cool. I'm literally going to do this exactly how I did it on the wedding. So I'm going to put this all over my body as well. When we got engaged in the south of France in a little walled town that's incredibly hilly called Ramatuelle. I think that's how you say it. That place has a lot of history and significance for Will's family. So it was really exciting to get engaged there. And it's just a really, really beautiful, beautiful town. For a very small, tiny, minuscule second, we were thinking about trying to get married in the south of France because it held so much significance for Will and his family. And also, half of my family speaks French. One of my sisters is a French professor. The other one lived in Belgium for a year and speaks fluent French. So it's like, it probably would have totally worked out if we wanted to do that. But it was gonna be really fucking expensive. So, and difficult. Like, people don't really talk about how difficult it is to like plan an international wedding. How did we find our venue? Let's also get started on foundation. So let's press pause on this makeup tutorial, which by the way is going to look incredible by the end of this. And just say a quick thank you to our sponsor. When we were in the thick of wedding planning, it was very difficult to prioritize my mental health because everything else was demanding my attention. But one way that I could still take care of myself was by talking to a therapist. So highly recommend talking to someone if you feel like you're going through something right now, or you just need someone to listen. And that's why I'm so happy to say that BetterHelp is sponsoring this video. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. First, you can go to their site. You can use my link. It's betterhelp.com/rose. You answer a few questions and BetterHelp will match you with a professional who has years of experience helping people with struggles just like yours. You can do it all from your phone or computer, via video call, video chat, or messaging, however you feel most comfortable. It is the easiest way to start talking with a therapist. You'll be matched to a therapist usually within 48 hours, so you can get started fast. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you, all from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/rose, that's betterhelp.com/rose, or choose Arden Rose during sign up, and you'll enjoy a special discount on your first month. Thank you again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back into the wedding of it all. But I did end up using the Patrick Ta Cream Foundation and Finishing Powder Duo in Light 4 and Light 1 for the wedding. These are such gorgeous wedding foundations, and you just have a little bit of discoloration, like maybe like a little scar or a little pimple mark, or like something a little bit red, something like that. These blend it down into your skin so it just looks like it's like doesn't even exist. And the other thing is like they're incredibly stretchy and forgiving. Like Light 4, I'm gonna show you what this color looks like. In the pan, it definitely matches my body, but it's kind of far off my face because I am a sunscreen girly, as you should be too. It stretches, like you can go up a skin tone and you can go down a skin tone. I used Light 4 all over my face, and then to highlight areas of my face that I wanted to bring forward a little bit, I used Light 1. I say all the time that Will basically planned our wedding, but the reason why I say that is because Will found our venue. I argue that that is the hardest part of a wedding. And Will just randomly on Instagram, on his explore page maybe, I'm not sure, saw something, either it was from like the Modern Home or Indigo or one like home brand, saw a designer talking about Kin House, because Kin House has one of the most gorgeous designs I've ever seen. Like the way that they do all of the fabrics and the textures and like the wallpapers, the bathrooms, everything at Kin House is so stunning and gorgeous. Like I wish I could just copy and paste it into my own home. Will found it and was like, babe, this is a wedding venue. Like they do corporate retreats and stuff, but you can get married there. So of course we looked at a few other places, but that was one of the places that we sent an email just to see what the deal was. There wasn't anything on the website that said how much the venue was. So we were like, this could be way out of our price range. And like, there's a very good chance it is. So like, let's just go in, let's keep our mind open, but like, let's not be sold on this right away. We went to go see two other venues, which were both gorgeous. They were just kind of like different styles than we ended up wanting to go with. One of them was on a literal farm, and it was beautiful. Like you were overlooking farmland, but like the bathrooms felt kind of like festival bathrooms, and you were staying in someone's house. Like it wasn't a venue that was separated. It was like these people live here most of the time and then you take over their house, which I think is really cool. And if you're going for a homey vibe, I think that's awesome. But this was gonna be like the same price as this other one that we went to go see, which was like a castle. It literally was a castle that they recreated in the 80s or something like that. So like kind of a fake castle that was really cool. It was a little bit too big for us though. Like it was a little too extravagant and a little too big. We knew we were only gonna have like 70 people coming to the wedding max, and we did hit 71 people. So it just didn't make sense to rent out this whole crazy castle just for like a pretty small party. It wouldn't have fit the vibe. We were having kind of a Goldilocks problem where like one was a little bit too small and homey, and one of them was a little bit too big and like austere. And then we went to go visit Kin House. And when we went to go visit Kin House, from the moment we rocked up, it was game over. Like I know people say that all the time, that you just get a feeling, but we got a feeling. And the feeling was, how the fuck are we gonna afford this place? The thing that we really, really liked about Kin House was that everything was kind of included in the house. And by everything, I mean they had 12 rooms, so anyone who was from out of town could stay in the venue with us. There was an option to do a rehearsal dinner the night before, so like we wouldn't have to try to find a rehearsal space in a pub nearby in the middle of the countryside. And they also have an incredible chef there who does all the catering. So I didn't really have to think about anything. I didn't need a wedding planner because the people who worked at Kin House were our wedding planners. So other than like, you know, stationery, flowers, hair and makeup, dress, suit, photography, videography, jewelry, other than everything else, we didn't have to do a whole lot. They also had a great list of vendors that were super helpful to find, florists, and other people that we needed to source ourselves. They were helpful for a myriad of reasons, and they took such good care of us. We were originally looking at it for a weekend wedding, but the price was out, let's just say out of our range. But when we inquired with them about it and said like, geez, we're loving this venue, we really want to get married here, but we just can't swing like the budget that we would need to do it on a weekend, they were like, well, have you thought about doing a midweek wedding? And we were like, we are not opposed to that. We ended up booking our wedding for a Thursday so that we could get like half off the wedding venue, which was huge. That freed up so much money for us to be able to do other stuff and commit to other things that we really wanted to commit to. I mean, like I had my wedding dress to pay for. I knew my wedding dress was gonna be a big ticket item. I had a feeling that his suit was gonna be a big ticket item. So there were things that we wanted to be able to spend money on without worrying. And the venue was going to be very critical in all of this. So then I took light 1, which is the slightly lighter shade, and literally just kind of painted a highlight under my eyes. I did a little on my chin as a highlight, a little bit right here. So our venue was basically the first thing that we had booked, which was so good. And we felt like we did it so far in advance. Our wedding was on May 23rd, and I think we booked our venue that March. It was either February or early March of 2023. So we felt like we had oodles of time. Bro, this wedding was such a say wedding. I have so many say things that I ended up using. The next thing that I was using were these little slip tint concealer correctors. I really like these concealers. I was using 3 under the eyes, and then I was using 5 anywhere I had like little shadowy blemishes or anything like that. So that was where I was kind of painting everything. Classic little highlight spots. I started looking at wedding dresses, of course. And the first wedding dresses that I really locked in on were Vivienne Westwood dresses. And I went to go actually look at dresses at Loho Bride. I tried on Daniel Frankel dresses. I tried on Vivienne dresses. I made a whole video on here doing that, and it was really, really fun. But when I went to go visit Macy over at CINQ and tried on all of the dresses, I was like, oh, this is like so the vibe of my venue. I went by myself and tried on all the dresses one last time, and I cried out of relief when I found my dress, which I don't know if that's normal, but it was like, I'm happy to be in this dress. Obviously, I loved the dress, which was an aspect to the tears, but more than anything, I was just so fucking happy that I had a goddamn dress. All right, next up, blush, which is so important. I ended up using the Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand from Charlotte Tilbury, and it was so gorgeous. I love this blush. So yeah, I think my figuring out what my wedding dress was gonna be was kind of a journey, but I think I was just having decision paralysis. Like I saw so many pretty dresses, looking for something that felt timeless and felt very much like me, that also felt creative and collaborative. And I felt like I found that in the CINQ dress, like being able to bustle it, being able to add a petticoat underneath, doing all these things that made me feel like I was doing something kind of special for myself, made me really attracted to those dresses and attracted to the designs that Macy set forth. And I mean, like, if you've seen her new collection, y'all, if you guys are getting married anytime soon and you want to wear a wedding dress, go take a look at her new collection. It's unbelievable. So we went down the recommended list that Kin House had, and we found a few florists. Finally ended up with a company called Nice Bunch, and they were such a nice bunch. They were really, really sweet. It's a husband and wife duo that grow their own flower, like they have their own flower farm, which is so cool. They seed in the fall, and then whatever grows in the spring, that's what they end up using for all of their weddings. And again, I just love the idea of trying to go for these slightly smaller businesses and these more local businesses as well, because there was a reason why they were on the Kinhouse stock list. It was like because they are so used to working in the area. It was also really nice to know that they had been in our venue before, so they kind of knew what the dimensions were like and everything. I told them I was really obsessed with these poppies that only grow in California called Mataliha poppies. I might be mispronouncing that, but they are all over my neighborhood where I live on the east side. So like, I love these poppies. I just associate them with like really happy memories. If you look up a fried egg poppy, that's what they kind of look like. They ended up finding these peonies called sunset peonies, which mimicked the way that Mataliha poppies look, but you could actually get them in the English countryside. So we ended up being able to have a lot of peonies and like gorgeous flowers to kind of mimic that look that I wanted. It was just, so yeah, also highly recommend them. Thought they were amazing. Natural Cream Bronze by none other than Say. I told you. Like this whole look is basically Say. So I basically like just like added a bunch of warmth around the edges of my face and then kind of contoured my nose a tiny bit with this and then moved the fuck on. So then once we had the florist, which was one of the last things that we did, we also tackled our photographer slash videographer at the same time. And we got so lucky with our photographer and our videographer. First of all, our videographer was one of our really, really good friends that we hadn't seen in a really, really long time. He is married now and it was so good to see him at the wedding. Like it was amazing having such a familiar face. And he worked with our photographer, Daniel Knight Harris, who is phenomenal. We had a few meetings with him in London beforehand, and he's a big film guy. Like we knew he was going to be shooting a lot on medium format, but his portraiture was so stunning. He did such a phenomenal job. Also, his energy was so good on the day. He gave us so many good tips and tricks, like even like down to walking down the aisle. He was like giving us tips and tricks because, you know, the funny thing is, obviously, all of us have seen how a wedding procession goes, but once you're there and you're kind of choosing how the day is going to look, it can get a little like, oh my God, I'm only doing this once, and it's not like I practice for this. Like, this is like a one-time thing. So it was really lovely having someone like him who had not only been married, he is married, but also like has gone to so many weddings to know like what is a good thing to do and what is not a good thing to do. For a wedding procession, for portraiture. Like he was also so fast, like to do all of our portraits, which were so stunning and gorgeous. I need to go get prints done of all of them. I think like our main wedding portraits took maybe 45 minutes, maybe. And then we were back with the crowd having the best time. So he just nailed it. And the day before we went on a recce with him all across the property just to like see where we wanted to take portraits, which was also very helpful because it was like we were prepared for it the day before. So when we actually did have the photos coming up, we were like, oh, okay, we're gonna do the candid photos over here by this tree. Now we're gonna sit in this chair together. Now we're gonna like hold up champagne. Now we're gonna be under the veil together. Like we had gone through and he had prepped so much stuff in advance. So it just made everything so smooth on the day and we didn't have to like make a bunch of choices when we really just wanted to, you know, enjoy our wedding. So Daniel, I fucking love you and thank you for doing such an amazing job. You guys, the wedding video is going to be unreal. It is going to be unbelievable and I cannot wait to upload it. Hopefully it'll be my next upload. So there we go. So that's the base done. This was what the face looked like. Now I'm just going to set it. I used the Say, come on, Say. I used the Say Air Set Radiant Loose Setting Powder in Translucent and y'all, this set it off. This has just like a tiny little glimmer shimmer to it that's so flattering and lovely. I went kind of crazy ham with this because I just didn't want anything to move. So now let's talk lippies, darlings. I had 2 lip liners with me the whole day. I had Pillow Talk regular old. And then I also had Pillow Talk 2 medium. And I'm 99% sure that I just used this on the day and then touched up with this as the day went on. What I love about Pillow Talk 2 is that it's literally just like a deeper, rosier version of Pillow Talk 1. And then I used a tiny bit of Red Carpet Pink from Charlotte Tilbury as the center color, which just like gave a lovely kind of blushy nudie pink. Last thing that I did for the lips was another Charlotte Tilbury, you better believe it. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Fair Medium Big Lip Plumpgasm. Okay, Charlotte. I put a tiny, 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 tiny little bit of this just in the kind of center. Let that kind of blend the rest of my lip. And this is my favorite lip right now. Like, I wanted it obviously for bridal stuff, but now I'm like, wait, this is stunning and gorgeous. I'm never gonna do any other lip. To go back to dress for a second while I just do my eyebrows, this is the Almay brow pencil in Universal Taupe. I did like the lightest, tiniest bit of eyebrows because I did not want it to be like a big eyebrow look, you know what I mean? Now, let's talk eyes. The one thing I was also really excited about working with Macy is that she had an amazing team of people that I could call to get a tailor, get a seamstress, get someone who could help kind of execute my dress to an even more specific vision. And that's how I found Sarah, who is so amazing and made it so incredibly enjoyable to work out exactly what my dress was gonna look like and fit me like, if that makes sense. For primer, I used the Sigma eyeshadow base primer in Persuade. You guys, this is the best eyeshadow primer. This is the best eyeshadow primer. Don't, like, literally, this is the only one that you need. It is incredible. It lasted me all day and it looked gorgeous. Once I started getting in on the process of changing up the dress and getting it altered, that also made me feel even more like a bride. Like the vision was coming together. That part I was really excited about. When you're looking at your dress, I would just also budget in an alterations fee, because there's just a good chance you're gonna have to pay for it. Keep in mind that there's gonna be at least a couple $100 on the back end that you're gonna have to reinvest in your dress, unless it just fits you perfectly and you're a lucky son of a gun, and I'm jealous of you. The eyeshadow quad that I decided to use from Charlotte Tilbury is the Pillow Talk Luxury Palette, and I literally just follow the instructions on the back of the little thing. Done. Now, the other most amazing, perfect person that I got to work with on the vision of my bridal look was Amy over at Riley House. And I know I've probably talked about her a billion times already over on TikTok. I had a video of all of my jewelry go viral over there, and I was so happy that that was the video that went viral, because honestly, Amy deserves all of the love and respect and like just everything in this world, because she worked so hard on the collection and made me feel so special. And so just like hats off to you, Amy, if you're watching this. I love you, and you made my wedding such a special day. And my look was not complete without all of the gorgeous accoutrement that Amy handmade. So if you're a bride or someone who's like looking for something for a special occasion, please contact her. Please get in touch with her, because she's an artist. Like, she hand blows her own glass flowers for CINQ Bridal work or for other high fashion companies. Like, she is so talented and she deserves to have her name out in the world more. Sarah, my seamstress, also made my veil. So it really was like a collab between the two of them. They weren't in contact, but like I was trying to kind of get the vibe off of both of them. I had also ordered a bunch of veils on Etsy and none of them ever came. So I don't know what was up with that, but I ended up just being able to get one from Sarah, and I'm so glad because she did a phenomenal job on it. Also, as I said earlier, I think I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, I did end up doing my own hair, and by I ended up doing my hair, I mean that my sister-in-law Amelia and my sister Harper both tag teamed my hair after I did my hair, and then my clips kept falling out because my hair was too slick. Like, it didn't have enough grab, so my hair clips were having a hard time staying in. We came back upstairs and they were like, we're going to super glue these clips into your hair. So they like teased them. They made them look so beautiful. They put my veil in. So like I say I did my hair, but really it was a collaborative effort of the beautiful, wonderful women in my life. And it was exactly what I wanted in kind of like my dream get ready scenario, where it was just like the girls having fun, drinking Prosecco, doing our hair and makeup. Aaron, one of my bride's boys, has the best taste in music, and he was just like doing bops the whole time. It was like, ugh, on another level. I did end up using my little Pillow Talk eyeliner. This is a kind of pinky brown eyeliner, which I know a lot of people were like, maybe don't use a red eyeliner on your wedding. Like, do you want to look high, girl? But I actually thought it looked incredible with my eyes. And then what I also did is I took it and I kind of like made a little well in the side of my eye, kind of a little baby wing off to the side. Very important step. I found the perfect demi lashes for the day. These are the Eylure 3/4 length demi lashes, number 13 Featherlight Feel. And these lasted me all fucking day, y'all. I love these. They're so fluttery. I'm not a big eyelash girl. I don't wear a lot of fake eyelashes, so this already felt like a lot to me. I used this YSL waterproof mascara. This is the Lash Clash waterproof. This is my favorite mascara, hands down, like easily. Can you believe it? Well done. And this was my wedding makeup. Obviously, I just took my bangs out so they look a little insane. But my bangs were a little bit shorter on the day. Yeah, I didn't do anything else. Like I said, I went crazy with the Say Glowy Gel all over my body. So if you saw any glowing, that's what that was. And as you can tell, now that it's kind of settled a little bit, the glowiness of that setting powder really shines through, especially as the day wore on. And I got a little bit more of a natural sheen. It just accentuated it in such a lovely way. So I highly recommend that powder. I'm gonna list all of the product details down in the description if you wanna take a look at any of them. But this was the finished look and I loved it. Obviously, it's a neutral glam, but it was a neutral glam that I felt like was still warm and buzzy and pretty and glowy. If you have any other questions about the wedding, I'm super duper happy to answer them in the comments down below now that I can actually talk about all of it, because I feel like you have to kind of keep a little bit of it secret until after the wedding day. So if you have any other questions, please ask them down below. I'm super happy to answer them. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you guys on the flip-flop. I gotta go on a date night with my husband. I gotta go somewhere and show off this makeup. You know how it is. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being so supportive and so wonderful through this whole wedding season. I know I haven't been streaming because I've been so stressed out by wedding stuff, but now that I'm back, hopefully that means we can get back into streaming, a few more regularly scheduled videos. You guys have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the flip-flop.